Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you once again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding for each other by listening carefully to what politicians do. As a matter of fact, so we can be in a better position to watch what they do or what they don't do. I want to use this opportunity to give my nonsensical 2 cents. Had my nonsensical 2 cents today in debate, budget debate. And I must confess before I started to give my opinion on it, or my perspective, that I didn't listen to the Minister of Finance and Public Service presentation in its entirety. And neither did I listen to my counterparts from the PMP, the responding Shadow Minister, Mr. Julian Robinson. I did not listen to his presentation in its entirety. And I say that because after listening to these both presenters' speeches, I know I'm not politically savvy. I'm not a politician by any stretch of the imagination. I have no allegiance to either political party, one way or the other. But I think I'm sensible enough to understand when a presentation is not going anywhere. Because I've listened to a lot of presentation in my life. I myself have done a lot of presentation. You understand? And I can tell when a presentation is not going anywhere. And I must hastily admit and say here, you understand that neither Miss Williams nor Mr. Robinson had anything real to offer the country in their presentation. Again, we must understand that a budget is a projection. A budget is not reality, it's a projection. And I say it's a projection because none of these presenters, now there's no economist in the country who can tell us what's going to happen in the next 6 months. What's going to happen in the next year. None of them. So they can talk all they want to talk. But we as people, we have to make sure we understand that the budget is just a projection of what they want to do. And in that projection lies facts, in that projection lies misinformation, and in that projection is also, there's disinformation. One of the most glaring things for me from the budget presentation, like I said, I've not listened to all of it from either presenters. And I must also add that I'm really not an economist. So I'm not here to dispute exactly what they're saying from a statistical point of view, or figuratively, I'm not here to dispute what they're saying. You understand? But there's a lot of stuff about their presentation that I want, and I don't see how I'd like someone to explain the calculus of some of the stuff they say to me, because I really don't understand a lot what they're saying, and I can't see it from my perspective. Like I said, I'm not a fool. I know when a presentation is going somewhere, when it's not going anywhere. And it's not that it is not going anywhere because I don't understand what they're saying. I'm saying it's not going anywhere because there's nothing to support what they're trying to tell us, or what they're saying to us. Can I notice from both speakers, they're trying to tell us things that they can do and will do, as if it is already ironed out and planned for. There's a plan in place for it, the funding is in place for it, the resources is there. But nothing to that effect. Like I said, my 2 cents may be invaluable because I'm really not an economist, and I really did not do a degree in political science. My expertise is business administration and public administration. That's where I did my 2 master's degrees. So it has nothing to do with politics or anything like that, even though public administration is still a part of it. That's where my master's degree lies. And I want people to understand that when I'm commenting from my understanding of how public policy works. I know what they're saying ties into what the public policy demands. How what they're saying ties into what public policy demands. and how much they are not really and truly explaining in its entirety what needs to be explained. It is very funny. It was very strange to me to see the very next day, the minute, let me put it this way, the minute the Minister of Finance and Public Service finished her presentation, there was glorious praises all over the place for her. Jail PMP done. Favell Williams did this, Favell Williams did that. Now the very next day, here comes the opposition spokesperson on finance. When his presentation was done also, it's the very same reaction you're getting from people. That, oh yes, his presentation was this, he wipes the floor with Favell Williams, or Favell Williams, whatever her name is. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Miss Williams. And I looked at it and I said to myself, as voters, are we this dumb? Are we still asleep? Why are we so asleep when it comes to our own existence? I've said it before and I'll continue to say it again. I don't need to get into the statistic of what they're saying. I don't need to explain any figures relating to what they're saying. But I am sure that whichever party forms the next government, within a year of assuming that governance, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to govern the country. They're going to have a difficult time governing this Jamaica. For the life of me, I can't continue to see why Jamaicans are trying to predict. And some economists out there, as well as some bloggers, are predicting PMP is better than JLP, JLP is better than PMP. Now I'd like to take us back historically into where our politics began. 1962 and two first political parties. I may be wrong here, but I stand to be corrected. The JLP and the PMP was created and they say it was formed by two cousins. These guys are cousins, relatives. But why did they drive a wedge in society to divide the society? If your family are related and want to make the country a better place, why couldn't they have said to them, say, you know what? Listen, I know we are of different political ideology and philosophies, but we gotta work. We are working for the people. Let's come together and work for the people. Why? Why couldn't it have happened? No, each one has to prove that I'm better. My party is better than yours. And ever since the formation of political parties in Jamaica, the country has been divided. And every politician that come to a podium talk about speaking on behalf of the Jamaican people. How can you be speaking on behalf of the Jamaican people or on behalf of a divided nation? You convince me of that, Mr. Politician. Whether from the PMP or the JLP side. Ladies, I'm not here to challenge any statistic politicians want to give. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to look at the social, psychological, and physiological side of this whole political thing. And get people to understand now that we need to start to put our brains in gear. And don't allow these political fools to continue, these political people to continue to take us for what we call useful idiots. Don't make yourself available to become a useful idiot for politics or politicians. We need to have a say in our governance. I'm saying this from last year, March until now. We need to have a say in our governance. But I notice people are still following politics from a perspective. I am a supporter of Labour Party. I am a supporter of PMP. And I'm convinced the PMP is better, and I'm convinced, some is convinced the JLP is better. But I would like to challenge any man. Current leaders of both party, current finance minister, spokesman, or shadow man, or whatever of any party. Any economist out there who is willing to challenge. Like I said, I don't have the statistic. And I'm not going to come to the debating table with statistic, with any numbers either. But I know where I'm coming from, with some understanding of public administration policies. I know where I'm coming from that perspective. You can tell me all you want to tell me about the economy. That's fine. All the numbers you can throw out there. But I'd like to challenge anyone in Jamaica, anyone, to an open debate. I'm ready to make a fool of myself. Anyone to challenge me and discuss with me and prove to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that the PMP is a better party for Jamaica. Or that the JLP is also the better party for Jamaica. I'd like someone to bring the evidence to support that. Find that empirical evidence to prove that the PMP is better or the JLP is better. Find it. And let us have a debate on it. The national TV. We can have a 2-day or a 3-day debate on it. Anywhere you want us to. I'll meet any man to prove that. And I know there's no one in Jamaica with that kind of empirical evidence to suggest or to prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that PMP is better or JLP is better. But I really openly admit and accept PMP is better in certain area, JLP is better in certain area. And ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing for us to jump up about as far as the debate is concerned, because we must, as I said in my opening comment, debates are promissory proposal. Budgets are promissory proposal. I shouldn't use the word debate. The budget, as it is explained, is a promissory proposal. And let me highlight something here. I listened to part of Julian Robinson's presentation. And anyone can go back and listen it. Favel Williams said, when they juggle numbers and move things to the making car importers and all of these things from reduce that 100% tariff to fees to 20%. It gives the car owner and a little man and the working further down the salary scale to save at $20,000, you know, or a $2,000 a month. And in a 3-year period, they can pay down on a little pro box. Now, some people support that crap, some people don't. I can't support it because I don't know, as I said, all budget presentation and all budget proposal are promissory proposal. Because what we don't seem to realize is what's going to happen. What none of these presenters really can predict for you is what's going to happen in the next 6 months to world economy. None of them can predict that. There's no prediction to nothing. And in reality, the only thing economists can tell you about is projections and things going in the right direction. And if it continues, this is what the prediction shows. But nobody can put that in ironclad agreement and say, oh yes, this is what is going to happen. No one. You wake up tonight and tomorrow the economy crashes. Go to bed tonight, you wake up tomorrow morning and the world economy crash. So the times in which we live, we have to be realistic when we're doing these presentations. And also people who are listening to these things and taking in these information. We have to know how to process these things and analyze these things to make sense of what they're saying as it relates to our everyday life. It is us that's going to suffer. Now, I'd like someone to tell me, well, I mean, I've seen people who support Julian Robinson saying Julian Robinson and the PMP is this, JLP done. People who support the JLP after Miss Williams' presentation, PMP done, and all of these things. Now, I hear Prime Minister Holden also said something, and I know he said it on the writing on the box of their presentation. They believe their budget presentation is absolutely immaculate and correct, and there's no fault or flaws in their budget presentation, or in their budget proposal, I should say. And he said that the PNP should never be in power again. Listen the talk. Listen the talk. The PNP should never be in power again. I'm going back to about 2 years ago. The Gleaner published an article about his very wife, who made the comment, Jamaica should vote for this prime minister for the next 20 years because he's the best thing for Jamaica. Now roughly 2 years later, you're the man. PNP should not be in power again. Ladies and gentlemen, let us be very, 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 very aware of these things. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they are saying so you can know and have a better idea of what they do. What they say is translated into what they will do or they have done. And don't take this speech for bantry, idle bantry. It is not. PNP is gonna make every effort. You understand? And his party and his government make every effort to rope in all of the youths them to vote for JLP. By what means are you gonna do that, Mr. Prime Minister? How are you going to achieve that? Tell the nation. If you're bold enough to say you're going to do that, then tell us by what means you're going to do it and you intend to do it. Because I'm sure that effort is not a free effort. It's going to cost money. So, and how are you going to fund that venture? How are you going to fund it? Sorry. How are you going to fund it? Ladies and gentlemen, like us, this whole budget presentation is a feel-good story budget, just to make people feel good and support us feel good. But we have to stop and really think and really, really think about these things. We have to stop. Listen to them carefully. But then don't just run it and say, oh, boy, they said something and that sounds good. It sounds good, yes. But how will it impact us? Who is going to benefit from this? Remember, every politician even in the debate speech, and you continue to listen to the debate from different ministers. Listen to all of them speak, and they'll speak, and the amount of time they talk about the people of Jamaica, the Jamaican people. If every politician was to donate $10,000 for using that acronym, there would be enough money in power to send children back to school. To help send a lot of children back to school who can't afford it. Out of their pockets. Then we can say, yes, they're speaking on behalf of Jamaica. But you tell me, how can you be speaking on behalf of convince me that you're speaking on behalf of Jamaica when you yourself has helped to divide the nation? Your very action, your very promises, your very proposals, your very manifesto is dividing the nation. But yet you're speaking on behalf of Jamaican. Who are we fooling here? There's also something coming out of the economy that I noticed was absent in it. It didn't come out. It absent in the whole debate. I know they're not going to say it directly, but no one said anything that would even indicate in the slightest way to the nation that Jamaica's economy is an economy in an economy. Our economy is an economy in another economy. Our economy is not a standalone economy. It's an economy inside of another economy. Put it that way. Better understanding. Our economy lives within the U.S. economy. Our economy will live and die inside the economy, U.S. economy, as it is right now. But notice, there was nothing in the debate, nothing in the budget debate from either side to indicate to us the U.S. economy now is predicted to hit a recession pretty soon. And if our economy is an economy inside of that economy, what's going to happen to our economy? With all the prediction the Prime Minister and Pharrell Williams is making and Julian Robinson is speaking about, what's going to happen to all of that? No one is addressing this concern. No one. Because it's all about winning election. But I can tell Mark Golding, it's going to be difficult for you to win. And I say this is difficult because the incumbent party, the ruling party, always have the edge when it comes to election or re-election. Because as you said it earlier out in Connecticut, they have the media house, they have this, they have the elites, they have everybody supporting them. They have the resources, much more than you do. And you're absolutely right. People chastise you for that, but you're right in a sense. You were wrong to say it out in Connecticut. You'd have said it in Parliament. Then you wouldn't be so wrong. And as I said it to the man face, don't go behind his back internationally to say it. Because you give a wrong impression, not just of the JLP, but also of the entire Press Association of Jamaica. You understand? But that's for another day, Mark Golding. But I'm saying that to tell you that you guys don't have the know-how to win election. And I know that's why you called on P.J. Patterson to be your opening batsman. Who P.J. Patterson would even know. I don't know what game he's going to be an opening batsman for. Because P.J. Patterson don't even realize that cricket is not playing. So I don't know you trot him out as opening batsman. For what game? An imaginary game. You understand? Now, Mr. Holness, you and your party jump up that you people, third term is a certainty. I'm going to say this again, that whichever party wins the next election, ladies and gentlemen, I am making this prediction. Give that party a year, and they will have difficulty managing Jamaica. Notice everybody is presenting their budget proposal from behind the walls of doubt. On the edge, the precipice of hope. You understand? So we are economically standing on the precipice of hope. The presentation is given to us from behind the walls of doubt. No one is certain what's going to happen. Because the U.S. economy goes into the recession it is supposed to go into, which is going to be a very deep recession. You tell me now what's going to happen to our economy that is within the U.S. economy. Ladies and gentlemen, up to today as I speak, most of what we produce in Jamaica is sold to the U.S. We are not U.S. major partners, trade partners, but U.S. is our major trade partners. That's the difference. Another previous economist, Ralston Hyman, pointed out a couple of days ago. You understand? In response to him, the budget speech. Our last showing on import and export. We import far more than what we are export in terms of money value. The cost of import to us is far greater than the cost of what we export. So it costs us more to import than what we're getting from our export. So the money we get, we still have to spend it back to buy what we want. And we have to add money to that to buy what we want. Ladies and gentlemen, I really don't want to go any further because I think I've made my point here. The budget debate is just a promissory proposal. Please do not convince yourself that it's going to happen as they present it. Please do not expect it to happen the way as they present it. It's not going to happen. It is a fact that any government formed, any party formed the next government is going to have serious problem after a year. Even within months, they might have serious problem in a year. Even with the economy as it is in the US, if it goes into the recession that it is headed into, or forecasted to head into, within months of the election, or even before, depending on when Jamaica calls the election, we might be in serious existential crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, Leonard Robinson. I'm not here for the PNP or the JLP or no party whatsoever. You understand? Because up to now, I do believe they are dishonest, they are disrespectful, and misleading. Misleading, most of all. Welcome once again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding by listening to what our politicians are saying. Therefore, we can better watch what they do. Lennie Robbins. See you later, Jamaicans. All the best to you guys. Over and out. This is about Jamaica. It's not about party politics. Thank you.